Well, when it comes to dock fishing, the tackle you choose is very important for the task at hand. You want to be able to get back deep into those docks, skipping, flipping, and pitching your lure back into those docks. And the best way to do it is having a self-contained unit, not with any split shot on the end and a very complicated system. It's got to be short, simple, and quick. One of the ways that I like to do almost everything I use a plastic worm a great deal of times on the dock, and that's because I can skip it and flip it back into the spots in the dark shaded areas. I always use a Texas rig because it works the best to get it around reeds and so forth, and the dock pilings themselves, because there can be really reedless back there and you can get hung up very quickly. Now, using a Texas rig like this particular lure here, it has a rate up in the front here, and they call it a hidden rate worm. And I like to use that because it's all self-contained again, which allows you to make that skip, but the worm is Texas rigged right back into the head of the worm. The rate is gone into the head, and then I'm Texas rigging it. Now, again, I assume Texas rig came from somebody in Texas that started this, but to be known, it is straight worm like this. It's hidden there, so it's all reedless, but when that bass comes down, and again, you want a wide hook like this, because when that bass bites on this, that worm's got to come down and have a place to go so the bass doesn't get off. This works real well for that. Now, with that same idea, here's another head on the worm. This head here is very solid head. It's solid lead head again. It's Texas rigged, as you can see back and forth here. Again, it's locked in this way here. You can see this has had some abuse because it works. And also it has a little round spot here that you could put a skirt on it if you wanted to make it even drop a little bit slower. But this would go like this, boom, just drop it, move it along, and that big bass come out of the shade to get it. Now here's another lure that you may have seen before, a big promotion a number of years ago. It's the flying lure. Kind of goes backwards in what you might think. It doesn't go through the water this way, it goes through the water this way. And it does work. You just cast it out there, you tie on here, and you cast it out there and it will move a little bit forward and kind of go into that dock area and so forth. Takes a little finesse to use it, and I have caught fish on it, so I use it. I like a gimmick, but I like it most when it catches fish. Now another way is, this is by Mepps, but this here is real easy. If you're not sure how to do a Texas rig, this works out pretty good, because what it allows you to do is allows you to quick and easily put on a Texas rig setup without being real good at the Texas rig setup. It's got a little nail like this. You slide the head of that straight down into the hook itself, so you got it like this. Then you just come back and you watch where the hook goes through, and you stab it right into the worm, and there you go, a straight line. You're set to go as Texas rig, and yet the bait, when the bass hits it, he's still caught on that. You got a rate here, so you got one unit to skip and slide, and I'll show you later how important that is. Well, and the other thing you got to have perhaps is a jig. A big jig like this is really good for flipping and pitching in those dark areas of the dock, and a jig always seems to work well when the water's calm and you're just making that little slam up and down, and that looks like the crayfish. I like to use it early in the spring, works pretty well, but you can get it back in those spots. That's key. That's about all you need for catching the bass around the docks, and you might catch a bonus northern or something else along at the same time. It's always kind of fun to never know what you get, but bass are under there. They're hiding in the shadows, and by skipping, flipping, and pitching, you'll catch more bass on the docks. Guarantee it.